The importance of Dharma is not to be selfish. The importance of Dharma is when you learn something, you share it with other people accurately. When you don't listen to Dharma carefully, and also when you don't memorize it, and you don't focus on it, and you always rely on other people, it's another facet of selfishness. Why? Because you put the responsibility on other people. I'll give you an example. If you've been in Dharma more than 3 years, you should be able to already hold Dharma classes and give teachings. Yes, you should be able to. If you're not able to give teachings and hold classes, then it means there's something wrong with the way you've been learning, which is you're not really learning. Because if you go on the YouTube, even in big Christian churches, like in Singapore and stuff, you have very new people getting up and talking in front of 3, 4, 5, 600 people, giving talks. They're very good, because they're interested. So that's why it's very important for us to be interested. Now, you guys are all reading one of the most important texts available today. And let me explain to you why you're reciting it in short, where its lineage comes from, what it's about, and what's the benefit. And why are you reciting the way you are? And why we need to recite it a little louder so that we and people around us can hear. Because all of you are here on a Saturday night and you're doing a great job and you're reciting it. So I think it's my duty to explain to you why. And so why I thought I want to come here and explain things to all of you, because you deserve it. And I thought if I explain this to you about why you're here and why you're reciting and you understand it, it's more rewarding to do what you're doing. Because you guys are smart people, and if you get knowledge, you know what you're doing, you feel so much better. So I thought it's my duty to let you guys know why you're here on a Saturday night reciting this. And I know you guys, 60% of what you're reciting, you don't know what they're talking about. But you're still doing it, so let me explain why, okay? It's broken down into 2 categories, what I want to explain to you. One is imprint, and one is lineage. And I want everybody to listen very carefully, and I want everybody to really focus, and I want everybody to really absorb, because this is knowledge I'm giving you. Then you might think, oh, but you're taking some time away from recitation. Yes, but then your recitation will be even more beautiful, more powerful. All right? Making offerings to a Buddha statue is wonderful. But if you know why you're doing it, it becomes even more powerful. It becomes more firm. All right? So for some of you who've heard it, please listen again, and maybe I'll ask you one of these days to speak about it. Remember, if you've been in the Dharma more than 3 years, you should be able to teach Dharma to other people convincingly already. If you're still not able to, then no excuses. No justifications. I'm busy, I'm a housewife, I'm a house husband, I don't have time. I can name so many more powerful examples of people who are much more busier than you, but still can do more things. It's just if you want to or not. Imprint. Imprint in Tibetan is the word bakcha. Imprint means something that is planted in our consciousness. That is stored in our consciousness. We all know scientifically. Scientifically. Imprints is something that is in our minds. That is in our minds. Scientifically, it is proven. Whatever you put in your mind stays there. And you know how they prove it these days? Through regression therapy or hypnosis. Hypnosis is an established, accepted mode of finding the truth, especially with police in the US. I don't know about Malaysia, but in the US. So therefore, hypnosis and regression is a method to calm your mind down, relax your mind, so that you can remember things that cannot be remembered. What does that prove? That proves to you that your mind does not forget whatever it has seen or heard or remembered or registered. Let me repeat. The fact that under hypnosis, let's not talk about previous life hypnosis, I'm just talking about this life. It is clear, and it is the absolute accepted scientific mode of investigation, that when people go under hypnosis, they can remember things that they ordinarily cannot remember because of stress, because of fear, because of being
forgetful or not concentrated, or sometimes time, meaning it's been so many years already. So therefore, through hypnosis, people can remember events that are very, very, very distant, and they can recall them. In America, when I was there in the 80s, I heard that this was outlawed. Subliminal advertisements. What is a subliminal advertisement? That in an advert, they actually have an advertisement. You know, the commercial's about 20 to 30 seconds. But they show you an advertisement. But on the side, on the corner of the screen, they also flash something very quick. And it's so quick that that the conscious mind doesn't pick it up, that the subconscious picks it up. For example, they're trying to sell you ice cream, and they're trying to say this brand is very good, very good, very good. But you see, that's just advertisement. But they flash something on the side that says, this is the best brand, don't buy anyone else. They flash it like that. And you know what happens? A lot of people went out and bought this. And then people started suing each other because they said, this is unfair. Why? What they planted subliminally in the people's minds through advert had more effect than the actual commercial. So after a while, there was this huge debate, and there was this huge law cases, and they completely outlawed subliminal advertisement, which means things they flash on a screen just like this, not allowed anymore. Why? Because people remember that more. And it's amazing how the mind works. We're not talking about religion, we're talking about the power of the mind. So hence, an imprint is something we put in our minds, and once we put that imprint in our mind, it's remembered. For example, if we were very young, and we had a traumatic childhood, and the childhood was not very good, perhaps we were abused, perhaps we were hurt, perhaps we were told we were fat, perhaps we were told we were ugly, perhaps we were told that we'll never amount to anything, perhaps we were told that, we have no skills, no talent, perhaps we were beaten, perhaps we were starved. Those leave very powerful scars in our minds. And so when we get older, outwardly we may look like everything's fine, but inwardly we may have a lot of anger. An anger that's uncontrollable. An anger that pushes people away. An anger that comes out and we cannot control it. An anger that once it comes out, even later when we're embarrassed, we don't want to say, I'm sorry, or face it. And it drives people away. It drives opportunities away. It drives the Buddhas away. It drives our friends away. Why does it drive people away? Because nobody wants to be around people who are full of anger. Nobody. Nobody wants to be around them. So that may have come from an unresolved issue when we were very small kids. That when we were hurt or abused or beaten or told off or pressed down, we couldn't fight back. We couldn't talk back. We could not justify or ask for help because we were told to keep quiet. So then when we're told to keep quiet once or twice, 3 times, 4 times, this rage builds inside of us. And when that rage builds up, when we get older, when we are an adult, we are in control. We can do things, and no one can tell us anything anymore. We act out of that pain. We may not even know it, We may not even know we're in pain. Do you know why? If people who have a lot of anger, 100%, there's something wrong with them. And they have something inside of them. 100%, not 99%. 100% there's something wrong with them. Crazy? No. Bad? No. Evil? No. It means they were damaged. So for these people, when they act out of anger and again and again and again, they are protecting the pain that they feel that they could not protect as a child. Let me repeat. The anger that they express to people around them is not that they're evil or bad. It is because they are protecting something deep inside of them that they could not protect when they were a child. A sign of uncontrolled anger is the anger just doesn't come down. It escalates. Another sign of uncontrolled anger is when people apologize or when things are right, they still want to make it wrong. They don't want to lose face. They want to be right. What is that? That's a clear sign that they want control because they didn't have control. So for people who have uncontrollable anger, there's a few ways to approach it. One is they have to control their anger. They have to listen to what people say. They have to listen to how they hurt people with their anger so that they don't hurt people like they were hurt. Very important for people with anger is not to give up what they're doing or to throw away what they're doing or to run away from what they're doing or to not continue what they were doing. Very important. Why is that? Because when they stop doing what they're doing, they reaffirm the anger. They reaffirm the wrong way to protect themselves. And that comes from what? An imprint from a small child. The examples I gave you are just some examples, not the full example. That's one example. Another example is when we're very young, our adults, anybody could have, schoolmates, friends, families, neighbors, TV, movies, our heroes, could have implanted in our brain, hey, money is everything. Money is the key to life. Money is the secret to life. And if you make a lot of money, and if you gather a lot of money, and if you have a lot of money, and if you are living in a lot of money, you will be secure. You will be happy. You will be respected. You will have an easy life, and you will be at peace. Someone planted that in your brain. Having money is necessary. Everybody wants money. I want money. You want money. Everybody. Without money, how to even bring Dharma to others? But you see, to believe in money and to sacrifice everything, friends, love, Dharma, yourself, for money, you will regret it deeply. Do you know why? No one in the world that has made an impact in the world tells you that money is security, is happiness, is the end in itself. No one. Not Buddha, not Jesus, not Mother Teresa, anyone you respect. Not even Bill Gates. You know what Bill Gates does? I mean, Bill Gates gives one single house to every single child that he has, and the rest of the money goes all to charity. And when they ask him why, he says, because money doesn't make my kids happy. He knows that. I'm like, wow, glad I'm not your kid. I'll be very upset if he gave away $60 billion and all I get is a rotten house. Better not to be his kid, right? But yeah, even Bill Gates, the richest guy, one of the richest people in the world, I think the second, third, I don't know, I don't care, tells you that no, I'm not giving anything to my kids because I know that they didn't make anyone happy. I'm like, wow, then why'd you make all that money? Even he tells us that. So if we run around saying, hey, I'm going to go here, do this, do that, for money, to make money, to be independent, to have a good life, to make something of myself, you know what? Someone put wrong information in your brain. You got the wrong imprint in your brain. And if you keep living like that, you're never, ever going to be happy or have peace. And you're going to find out when it's too late. You know why? Because you're not living from the truth. You're not living. So what am I trying to say? That money is bad? No. What I'm trying to say is wrong imprints. That's my point. The focus here is not money or anger. Wrong imprints. Then there are people who are totally were little princess and princesses when they were kids. Nothing this little monster can say can be wrong. Nothing the little boy and girl can do is wrong. Nothing they can eat or sleep or any way they act can be wrong. And they were nurtured and they were taken care of and they were put on little golden thrones. They had golden bibs. They had golden milk bottles. Everything was perfect. And as they grew up, they were perfect little princesses. And when they said, Mommy, I want a Barbie doll, they got 100. When they say, I want to go to McDonald's, mommy gave them $5,000. Go buy whatever hamburgers you want. And they didn't have to work. If they failed in their jobs, mommy will give them more money. Daddy will give them money. And you know what? It sounds funny, but it's pathetically sad. You know why? Because these are the people who grow up to be nobodies. To be nothings. And to grow up to be mommy and daddy's nightmare. Do you know why they grow up to be mommy and daddy's nightmare? Because they're still thinking they're 10 years old, so everything free, give it to me. But they're not. They can be 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. Do you know how many mamas, boys, and girls I've met in Malaysia? Do you know how many? I think 60% of the kids I've met are mamas, boys, and girls. And mama is not at fault. Mama and daddy gave them everything. It's because perhaps when mommy and daddy were growing up, they had some problems and they don't want their kids to ever suffer. I'm sure it's from love. So I'm not blaming the parents. I'm not being diplomatic. So when the kids grow up, the kids who are smart, they say, you know what, I have a really easy life and I'm going to just work because no matter how much I work and make myself successful, if I fall flat on my face, mommy and daddy's still there. That's how I would do it. Really, I would do that. If I had my parents supporting me, anyways, which I don't, I would do everything. I would try this, try that, try this, try that, try everything. You know why? There's no way I can fail. There's no failure except failure itself. What's failure itself? When I don't try. I would work really hard. I would never, ever be worried. So, but people who have grown up in this kind of atmosphere, everything's given to them easily and nicely and well. You may think it's cute when your kid throws a tantrum, they want it this way, that way, and you go, well, I'm a mommy, I have to take care of them, what to do. It may be cute when they're 5, maybe 10, but not when they're 15. Not when your little princess or prince grows up and they're 20 and they're monsters. Not when they fail one job after another, they have bad manners, they embarrass people, and they scream and they cry and they do all kinds of things for attention. And these people grow up to be spinsters, male and female spinsters, because nobody can get along with them. And then they grow up further to be bitter, older people who make other people bitter and older. That's what you do to these people. That's their future. Why is that their future? Whatever you do is the result. So no matter how much you explain yourself or justify, that will be the result. Why? You cannot get a Chinese male and Chinese female and have baby and the baby comes out African. Cannot. You cannot get 2 Africans and they have a baby come out Caucasian. You cannot get 2 Caucasian baby come out American Indian. Okay, you cannot. If you have 2 Chinese, they have baby, the baby has to be Chinese. So if you've been lazy, sneaky, make justifications, don't want to do work, of course your result cannot be successful. How can lazy and sneaky get married and have successful? I don't understand. So if you're lazy, hello lazy, marry sneaky, they come out loser. You gotta be a loser. And if you're a loser, and your mama and daddy's gonna support you, that's beautiful and that's wonderful. Maybe they'll support you for the rest of your life. Maybe. But you know what? Unless the Buddha is wrong, it will be payback time. You will have to pay back. And then you're gonna get it. Karma has an ugly way of coming back. And the horrible thing about karma is not the Jade Emperor controls the world, but it's your karma that controls you. So therefore, if you have this imprint that when you're a little kid, hey, listen, whatever I do, whatever I say, people will listen to me because I'm cute. Honey, not anymore. All right, not anymore. Take a good look. I don't think anybody will think you're cute anymore. And if they tell you you're cute, it's because you're off. So if they tell you you're not, you're going to be hurt. Okay. So that's an imprint when you're a kid. That's an imprint.